What are your thoughts on Zevia as a soda replacement, and do you have any other suggestions for people who like soda but try to stay away from it? I asked her a follow-up question, and she said she uses it for taste and caffeine. I'm a big Diet Coke fan, but I only have it once or twice a month because I know it's terrible for me. Well, Bianca, I never like to use words like good, bad, terrible, things like that, because you're not a bad person when you drink Diet Coke. You're right, it doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities. Diet Coke is filled with a bunch of chemicals, artificial sweeteners, things that are certainly not health promoting. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're eating a very healthy diet for the most part, and you have one Diet Coke a month, I think you're going to be okay. That said, there are healthier substitutes, and she pointed out Zevia as one of them. So here's my Diet Coke history for all of you who care, which is like 0 people, but don't worry, it'll only be 30 seconds. I used to drink tons of Diet Coke, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 a day. And I loved it. And then I was like, ooh, that's not healthy, so I'm going to stop. But only when I would go out and have a drink, I would get rum and Diet Coke. That would be like my drink of choice. So that obviously wasn't every night or anything like that, but I would still rely on Diet Coke. And then I transitioned into Zevia and rum as my mixer of choice, which is why I asked Bianca if she was using it for to mix alcohol. So for me, the taste was kind of similar. Now I really don't have Zevia at all, but I don't think it's bad, especially if you're only having it once or twice a month. I think Zevia is totally fine. Zevia, for those of you who don't know, is a soda that's sweetened with stevia instead of with aspartame or other artificial sweeteners, which is way, way healthier for you. Now, Zevia still has things like natural flavors, natural colors, things like that that aren't really perfectly health promoting. But if you're only having it every once in a while, I think that's totally fine. If you're going to have it even more regularly, I have 2 suggestions. One is called Steaz, S-T-E-A-Z. This is in cans, like white and green cans. Unfortunately, I don't have one for you here today. But it is a tea. Like, they have a tea lemonade, they have a plain tea, they have a peach ginger tea or something like that, and it's sweetened with stevia as well. So you want to be careful with Steaz. Some of them have a lot of sugar, and then some of them are stevia only. So please get the ones with stevia only, or they have unsweetened altogether. But that will give you caffeine, and it's in a can. It's not carbonated, but it tastes really good. So I think that could be a substitute for you. And then kombucha. I've talked about kombucha before. There are some very high in sugar. I recommend trying to get one 5 or fewer grams of sugar per serving, but that's fizzy, a little bit carbonated, has some of them have some caffeine, and that could be a really good substitute. Kombucha is popular because it has probiotics. It's good for your gut as well. So if you're looking for substitutes, Zevia is good. You called that out. Steaz is another one, and kombucha is the last one. If you want to get even healthier, you can buy your own soda stream, and then you can buy some stevia-based soda flavorings to add into the soda stream, which just basically makes carbonated flavored water. But that might be that's too much work for me personally, so I don't know if that's too much work for you or not, Bianca. But then that brings me to my last substitute. So we have a vending machine here at work, and I've always stayed away from it because I don't drink soda. But I noticed, like a year ago, after a year of not looking at it at all, that we have carbonated LaCroix water, which is like a naturally flavored water. I've talked about this before too. They use natural flavors, which is a little bit of a red flag, and they don't have BPA-free cans. So I don't want us to be drinking like 8 LaCroix per day. But if I'm having that feeling of, ooh, I kind of want something fizzy, I want something aside from just water, I'll get a LaCroix, and that can be a good substitute as well.